Can I minimize this once it's launched?
I'll make sure it's muted.
Yep. Okay, we're good.
We're good. Okay. All right. Good morning, everyone. Let's do the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. We'll exit the Board of Commissioners and go into Solid Waste District Commission. We'll recess.
Tony, do you want to read the resolutions and journal entries today, or?
Could you give me one more week, Vicki?
Oh, absolutely. I
Okay.
just didn't want you to think I was taking it over, so, okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Move to approve the minutes of January 14th, 2021.
Second?
Okay, roll call, Jules.
Tony,
Yes.
Vicky,
Yes.
Sabrina,
Yes.
Move to approve the January 21, 2021 bills as presented by the county auditor.
Second?
Okay, roll call.
Vicky,
Yes.
Tony,
Yes.
Sabrina,
Yes.
Move to approve the January 21, 2021 journal vouchers as presented by the county auditor.
Second?
Okay, roll call.
Vicky,
Yes.
Tony,
Yes.
Sabrina,
Yes.
Move to approve the January 21, 2021 then and now certification as presented by the county auditor.
Second?
Okay, roll call.
Vicky,
Yes.
Tony,
Yes.
Sabrina,
Yes.
Do you want to talk about this number, this D, Bill?
Yes, ma'am. This is our annual, our CDL drivers have to be part of the random DOT drug testing. And a few years ago, Dawn actually found IEBT right around the corner from us. And so we've been using them. It saved us from driving over to Ravenna and waiting. We're pretty much in and out at IEBT. So we do this every year to conform with the DOT regulations. The good news is to report that the prices have not increased from 2020 to 2021. So the pricing has remained flat. Last year, we spent about $550 on just the random testing.
Bill, those training expenses, exactly what is that? The supervisor training and the employee training?
That's just the training for us on our end.
Oh, okay.
For like Dawn and yeah.
Okay, good enough.
Yeah.
Move to enter into an agreement for random DOT drug and alcohol testing services between IEBT and the Portage County Solid Waste Management District.
A second, please.
Okay, roll call.
Vicky,
Yes.
Tony,
Yes.
Sabrina,
Yes.
Yeah, I just have one discussion item this week. I met with the Sheriff's Department on Tuesday morning. Had a great meeting with them. You know, I was walked away really impressed. There was a lot of synergy between solid waste and the Sheriff's Department. Some ideas that we exchanged on other areas. But the main purpose of the meeting was the environmental compliance officer. I felt it was important to meet with them and explain my budget dilemma, that I do not have money to really support this program this year. They informed me that they don't have the budget currently to support this program at this time either. So it does not look like we will be renewing the contract for the environmental compliance officer, mainly because of budgetary concerns on our end. It's about $85,000 a year. It's a great program. Alex has just done nothing but super with the program, but it's just a budgetary reason. So I wanted to at least address them face to face with why, you know, we just can't continue on with the program unless funding comes in from somewhere else.
So Bill, will Alex just go back to the Sheriff's Department as
What?
a deputy?
Yes, it's my understanding in talking with the chief deputy that he will be going back to the sheriff's department as a deputy and assigned to other duties, obviously. But I will be bringing to you next week a couple of resolutions of transfer. One will be for the cruiser that we purchased.
Okay.
You know, I have no use for it. While it would be kind of on my bucket list to run hot down 76, I think the Ohio Highway Patrol may have a little issue with
I
that.
want to come too.
Yeah, I would probably have to wear a dark shirt that day, but as
Well,
I
as long
explained
as
to the
Bill-
sheriff, and I'm
Bill,
sorry, go ahead.
As long as you're not trying to run hot on Mogador Road, because it has a lot of curves, we'll be okay.
Well, you know what? Everyone knows I like fast cars, so let's see how it handles on the S curves.
Okay.
And then, yeah, the second one I will be bringing back is we just accepted a donation from the Nelson Township trustees for cameras. I did receive a call from trustee Leonard yesterday, and I told him that I will transfer those back to Nelson Township so they can still use them. So there will be 2 resolutions that I will bring back to you next week. And I can tell you when our budget squares around and we have some breathing room, it's a program I would like to bring back and fund through the district. It has been nothing short of wildly popular in the townships. We've cleaned up a lot of messes.
Yeah.
So moving forward, I will look for a way to come up with the funding for this program. A lot of it will have to come from how willing our current townships, villages, and cities are willing to endure rate increases or whatever direction we take the district in moving forward. So discussions for other times down the road, but that's pretty much it for this week.
Okay, thank you, Bill.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Everyone have a wonderful day.
You too.
You
Thank
too
you.
also.
Thank you. Bye.
Move to adjourn, solid waste?
Second.
Okay. Roll call, Julie?
Vicky,
Yes.
Tony,
Yes.
Sabrina,
Yes. Okay, we'll reconvene into the Portage County Board of Commissioners meeting.
Hi, Janet.
Morning, everybody.
Morning.
Hey, I have one discussion item on my agenda, but there are 2 more discussion items I just want to bring up briefly. But the first one is the COVID-19 policies that we talked about last week. I wanted to bring the revised policies to you for your review. It would be the temporary public health emergency leave policy, and then also the temporary remote learning and childcare leave policy. We could go over the temporary public health emergency leave policy if you want to, if you have any feedback.
Yeah, you want to just give us the highlights? I know we agreed to make some changes.
Yeah.
Janet, just real quick.
Yeah, basically for this policy, we really mirrored the eligibility criteria of the Family First Coronavirus Act from last year in regards to, last year the employees had to specifically be off for certain reasons in order to get the FFCRA time. So in our policy, the employees are eligible for paid administrative leave for those same reasons, being that they're either sick with COVID or seeking a diagnosis or taking care of someone that is sick with COVID. And then we also put a max, and again, it's, mirrors the same time frame as the Family First Coronavirus Act, the 80 hours. So an employee would be eligible up to 80 hours, a full-time employee eligible up to 80 hours. And then the part-time employees would be eligible up to an amount equivalent to an average 2-week time period that they would work. So if they'd work 30 hours, it would be 30 hours. And then we also added the requirement of medical documentation. Because last year, our policy last year was doctor's notes were suspended. And that was based on just the recommendation of a
MSC
that-
and
yeah.
everything, wasn't it?
Yeah. This year, though, we're requiring medical documentation to use the paid administrative leave. And then the one thing I wanted to check with you, I know I have on top, I have effective January 21st, which is today's date, but I didn't know if you wanted to keep it as today's date, or did you want to retro this back to January 1st, which was actually the original effective date of the policy, but we just made changes last week because last week was the first meeting of this year. So I didn't know if you wanted to make the policy effective today or,
Would it have an impact on anyone?
well, if someone was off, or before today, so if someone was off 2 weeks ago on paid administrative leave, it would limit their time. It would say, if they used the 2 weeks already, it would limit, like they would no longer be able to use any more paid administrative leave for COVID reasons, or it'd be effective today.
How
So
much has that been used, Janet, in the last 3 weeks?
we would have to check to see. I think payroll has run, so they should be able to have the payroll code as long as departments enter the correct payroll code for the paid administrative leave. I will tell you that some departments are asking about this policy because they have either employees that are currently off or will be off soon for COVID. So I know they're anxious to have the policy in their hands. And I know they like having the parameters of the 80 hours because unfortunately, you may see abuse. So they like the 80 hours out there.
Though, I think we should leave the date today because it's like changing the rules in the middle of something. I mean,
Yeah,
and I understand what you're saying. I mean, I certainly don't want this abused, but I also don't want, like I said, they thought one policy was in place and now we've changed it. We've backtracked.
And I just want to throw that out to you to see.
And we're not that far into the year. I can't imagine we'd have that many people affected. I mean, I would rather just like Vicky, oh my goodness, sorry. I would rather just make it effective for the true effective date, which would be today.
I agree with you.
Okay. The one thing I wanted to double check with this policy, because I kept pondering over this question when I was revising the policy. I know we have individuals that may come in direct contact with someone not in their household. And then perhaps they may feel like they need to quarantine because they've met the definition of a direct contact, like within, staying more than 15 minutes with someone, or they use the same utensils or whatever. But if someone came in direct contact with someone, they may feel like they need to self-quarantine just to kind of keep everyone safe. And generally, those individuals may not seek their doctor's advice. So I don't know. I don't know if this policy really covers individuals like that would self-quarantine, because I feel like I just spent an hour with someone that on Saturday and I just found out that they tested positive for COVID. So I'm not too sure if I'm sick or not.
Okay, that's the key. What you said just there, they tested positive for COVID, because I'm thinking you can't quarantine with everybody that you come in contact with.
Yeah.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. They tested positive, and yet you feel like, oh my gosh, I spent some time with them over the weekend. Right now someone could, but they could telework. If they're able to telework, they could telework. But I know we do have some individuals that would be worried, should I quarantine or not? And if they would not have a medical documentation saying, yes, you should quarantine, this policy would not cover that individual. But I don't know if that was our intent to cover those individuals.
Well, the only problem is they use the 80 hours or, for that, then if they come down with it eventually, they
Right.
have no time.
Right. They would have to use their own time. Yes. Yeah.
I mean, understanding that, but at the same point in time, like I said, they could be asymptomatic and not even know it and be a carrier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So those individuals, if they're really worried, about being asymptomatic or having COVID because they were with someone over the weekend, they could call their doctor and the doctor would go over the pre-screening questions with them. And if the doctor would say, yes, you probably should quarantine, then that would actually qualify for the policy, because now the healthcare person is advising you to quarantine. So it would fall underneath actually number 2 on the policy. So if the employee would do that, but there may be employees that don't, won't call their doctor.
Well, they should though, Janet, they should. Because we need some kind of proof that, anyone can say, well, I came in contact, so I've got to be off 2 weeks. I mean, we need some kind of,
Documentation.
Yeah.
We're past the, everyone, because I know with the first responders, that was such a big problem with like the fire departments, because one of them would come down with COVID and they were having to shut down half the department and they couldn't function. And so they changed it to where, you just monitor yourself for signs and symptoms, because, you just can't shut everything down. I mean, you just got to be safe, but monitor yourself. Or like you said, maybe in that case, they could contact their doctor,
right?
Get a note or something, because
and that's what
I agree. If we're going to give that kind of leeway, if I think I've been exposed, then I'm going to call my family doctor so they can instruct me on the 4 or 5 symptoms I should be associated with that. And then when the doctor says quarantine, then that they have the medical excuse for that.
Right.
If we leave it to everybody that goes out on the weekend and says that, it's just like nobody's coming to work. But no, they should seek advice they have to seek advice. The doctor's going to give them the briefing of 3, 4, 5 symptoms that they have. And if they say quarantine, then quarantine. If they don't have that medical advice, and I think there's going to be limited now that we've limited the 80 hours being maximum.
Sure.
Yeah. And that's really what I was thinking too. And I think that's why I kept going back and forth. So that's why I wanted to just bring the question to you. So yeah, it sounds like we all agree. So that's good.
Yes.
Great.
So Janet, do you have smell or taste today?
I do. I do. Yeah. And unfortunately, I think I could taste everything, but so it's like you just want to keep eating.
Yeah, unfortunately, right? Yeah.
There was one word when I was looking over the policies this morning, and then I'm going to just ask if I have your permission to change it. But actually underneath both policies, but right now I'm looking at the public health emergency policy, under the statement, under the temporary public health emergency leave policy, that first paragraph that says employees will be entitled, can I change it to will be eligible?
Yes.
Please.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. When I read it,
Not a good word. Not a good word.
no, that's why when I read that, I was like, oh my gosh, no, I don't want that word. So, okay.
Yeah.
And the same word is in the child care leave policy too.
Okay.
So I will change that one.
Yeah, you're right. The first one,
Yeah.
employees will be entitled. Okay.
Yeah, but
You're going to change that to eligible.
Yes.
Okay. Good enough.
So, and I'm also working on the leave form that we talked about last week. It's very similar to the Family First Coronavirus Act leave form, but I'm working it to fit our policies, and then also for the paid administrative leave, and also, underneath the same scenarios, and also requiring the medical documentation or any supporting documentation if a school is closed, or even if the school is remote learning. So I'm working on that leave form, and I pretty much have the final draft done, but I'm asking for some departments just to review it, just to make sure that it meets the needs of the departments. So I'm just making the final changes to the leave form. So I could bring that form back to you just so you have a chance to review it and make sure that you're okay with it. But I am working on that as well.
Okay. Thank you, Janet.
And I think that's it. I just had one, before we move to the resolutions, I just had one question I want to confirm. We have the Water Resources Director position posted right now and through the 29th, January 29th. But I wanted to ask you, do you want it posted in any of the newspapers? Water Resources tends to post their staff positions in the Record Courier. but I didn't get the confirmation if you wanted this one. And just so you would know, the Akron Beacon Journal and the Mercury together would be for 4 days, and it'd be $503. And then we also got a quote from the Plain Dealer, and that would be posted for 4 days as well, and that'd be $290. Or just one Sunday for the Plain Dealer is $170. So you're looking, if you posted all 3 newspapers, roughly
$1,000. Oh,
So-
well, no.
700 or 800.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I wanted to seek your thoughts on that, because it is a leadership position that we may not get, possibly.
Because I was going to say, I think for those upper level positions, I think most people do like the Monster and.
Yeah, I can't imagine looking in the paper.
Indeed.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it is it's on Indeed and it's on Monster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's try
I agree.
that. And if we're not getting anything back, then we might consider that. But
Okay.
a lot of people don't even get the paper anymore. And like I said, with those type of positions, the upper level, I would think that the websites for recruitment and stuff would be
Correct.
to start with.
Okay.
Yep.
That's fine. Yep. we just got, just a couple of quotes that I wanted to make sure that you were okay with. So yeah, we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see what happens.
Thanks, Janet.
And then if you want to.
Move that the Board of Commissioners agree to discontinue temporary emergency leave for Public Works personnel and emergency management personnel under the Board of Commissioners appointing authority.
Second,
Okay, roll call.
Vicky,
Yes.
Tony,
yes.
Sabrina,
Yes.
Move that the Board of Commissioners approves the temporary public health emergency leave policy for COVID-19 and discontinuing 20-0773 effective January 21st, 2021, with the exception of changing the word entitled to, what are we changing it to? Eligible?
Eligible.
Eligible.
Second,
Hey, roll call.
Vicky,
Yes.
Tony,
yes.
Sabrina,
Yes.
Move that the Board of Commissioners approves revisions to the temporary remote learning and childhood leave policy effective 1/21/21 with changing of the word entitled to, why do I keep
Eligible.
forgetting that? Eligible.
Eligible.
Thank you. Thank you.
I second that.
Okay, roll call.
Vicky,
Yes.
Tony,
Yes.
Sabrina,
Yes.
Are these all just regular journal entries, Jana? Do you need to comment on any of them?
No, they're typical personnel journal.
Okay. You need to tell me how to pronounce this one woman's name. Is it a Chinese name or something? Is it Yoi or Joy Timon? Do you know?
I honestly don't know. I would think it'd be Joy, but I don't want to.
Okay, well, all right, thank you.
Yes.
Move that the Board of Commissioners accepts the resignation of Jennifer McCormick, Social Service Worker 3 for Portage County Job and Family Services, effective January 22, 2021.
Yes, second,
Hey, roll call.
Vicky,
Yes.
Tony,
yes.
Sabrina,
Yes.
Move that the Board of Commissioners agree to authorize the 3-day internal posting of the full-time Social Service Worker 3, replacing Jennifer McCormick for Portage County Job and Family Services with external posting if no internal appointment is made.
Second,
Hey, roll call.
Tony,
yes.
Vicky,
Yes.
Sabrina,
Yes.
Move that the Board of Commissioners accepts the resignation of Joy Timon, Social Service Worker 3 for Portage County Job and Family Services, effective January 29, 2021.
Second,
Hey, roll call.
Vicky,
Yes.
Tony,
yes.
Sabrina,
Yes.
Move that the Board of Commissioners agree to authorize the 3-day internal posting of the full-time Social Service Worker 3, replacing Joy Timon for Portage County Job and Family Services with external posting if no internal appointment is made.
Second,
Hey, roll call.
Vicky,
Yes.
Tony,
yes.
Sabrina.
Yes.
Move that the Board of Commissioners agrees to authorize the part-time hire of Geraldine Lauer as a temporary utility billing service representative, new position for the Department of Budget and Financial Management. Anticipated start date is January 25, 2021. The Board of Commissioners agree that this hire is contingent upon the applicant passing the required pre-employment testing.
Second,
Okay, roll call?
Vicky,
Yes.
Tony,
yes.
Sabrina,
Yes.
Move that the Board of Commissioners agree to authorize the Department of Budget and Financial Management to use the current applicant pool from the November 24, 2020 job posting to fill two additional utility billing services representative part-time temporary positions. Did we approve 2 for that?
Well, and I don't know if you want to call Todd in on this meeting or not, but really because of his, and Todd could probably explain it better than I can, but just because of his, he does have one employee that's on, out on leave right now. And really, we're not too sure when she'll return.
Oh, I didn't realize that, Jay.
Yeah, so Todd just felt like he probably should need a couple more part-timers to fill in.
Oh, okay.
So that's why he was seeking permission. They actually received 4 applications from the first round.
Okay.
And everyone was interviewed. Except
Okay.
because that one person ended up getting a different job. But yeah.
Is this going to help with the Manaway situation that's going on right now? I mean, is that because I talked to Mayor Clark this week and she's highly frustrated.
Mm-hmm.
She advised us as commissioners to read our mission statement. And I'm not sure what all is going on there, but I know she's not happy. And that may be because we're understaffed right now.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
department.
well, I talked to Todd about that yesterday because she had also called Todd. And basically there's some issues he's trying to work out with Tia as far as the billing and then just getting it out because, it's just him and Joan right now. And yeah.
I don't think, though, she did mention Tia, and she said Tia is working day and night on this, and she was supposed to have help, and she didn't think she had help. But at that time, when I talked to her, I didn't realize that we had a person on leave again in budget and finance. So that's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know if you.
Well, are the hours going to be, I mean, what are the hours? Like we approved like 30 hours, I think. Is that what we did?
The original posting was approved for 20 to 30 hours.
Okay.
I believe Todd said with all 3 part-timers together, it's going to be like 42 or 44 hours. They're all working different shifts because they're all part-time. So for example, one is working Monday, Wednesday, and Friday in the mornings. And then the other one is working, I believe, Tuesday and Thursday all day. And I think the other one's working Wednesday and Friday.
Okay, back up. You said 3 part-timers? I thought we were hiring 2.
We're just hiring 1 right now, but that's why Todd wants to, the posting is to allow him to offer the 2 more additional positions.
You know what, Janet, why don't we bring Todd in so he can explain this? Because I asked the same thing because I'm like, first of all, we agreed to 1 and then it went to 2 and then it was 3. So can we bring Todd in, Julie?
Yeah.
You need to hear directly from Todd because it's his department.
Yeah, and his logic behind it.
Absolutely.
Though, don't you think this should have been brought to us before it's put in our meeting? I mean,
Yes.
Yeah. Well, that's why, well, I won't.
I think that's why Todd needs to come and explain. I know I talked to him about it because I saw it because I was surprised at 2 and then we went to 3. But I also wasn't aware of the other situation until.
right. Yeah. I can understand the 2 now since we've got someone on leave. I didn't realize that, but. That person on leave, are they full-time, Janet?
Yes.
Ah, Now, there's no benefits with this. Is that correct, Janet? They're part-time, so there's no benefits?
Correct, correct. Yes, because I believe each one is working less than 30 hours.
Okay.
But again, Todd can tell you the exact hours that they're working and how many. Mhm.
Is he coming, Julie?
He was on the phone. I told him.
Okay.
Am I in?
Yes, you are.
I can't hear any of you.
Oh,
Give me a minute.
On.
can you hear us now? No?
Oh,
Oh, you can see them. Click more.
Yeah, except my sound's not working right now.
Is Claire still up here, Julie?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go out and come back in.
Okay.
I would tell Todd to check his volume button, but he can't hear me. Yesterday, we started the director meeting and I scheduled them. And so everybody can hear everybody else, but they can't hear me and I can't hear them. And all of a sudden they're sending me chats saying, turn up your volume. And here I had the volume button too low.
Well, if nothing else, I can always put Todd on the phone and have him. We could see him, just can't hear him, but so he could hear.
Or have him sit in front of Julie's desk.
Yeah.
Julie just won't be able to sit there. She can back up maybe, but
Take a look at, okay, John, ticket 21649. Take a look at Sam's ticket. Sam, what was that number again?
What's that interference?
Who is that?
Sam's Chicken.
I thought he said Sam's ticket. It sounds like IT.
that's what I'm wondering if Claire.
You can hear us, correct?
Yeah, we
Yes.
can hear you.
Oh, there was something very faint.
Can you hear us?
He's muted.
Oh,
I mean, do you think he could sit at Julie's desk so he could be at least on camera and talk?
He could. Whose nose is that?
That's Todd's nose hairs.
Oh,
You guys were supposed to inspect me to see if I'm COVID safe. Was it? All right, I'm good. I can hear you. You can hear me.
all right. Okay.
Todd, we have a question regarding the journal entry to fill 2 additional utility billing service representatives. I know I talked to you a little bit yesterday about it, but Vicki and Tony would like to hear what your thought was. We were thinking we were hiring 1 person, then I went to 2, and now we're up to 3. So
Yeah. Are we in executive session or is this normal session?
It's normal.
Open session. I just need to know what I can talk about. So we're not sure. Originally, we wanted a part-time person, even with Denise working, in part to help us with the load of taking over Manaway.
Manaway, yes.
And getting us settled in. The other issue is with solid waste. We have both Aurora and Kent that we have been delaying billing on that need to get back into regular cycles. So again, having just someone temporarily to help with that. On top of that, then Denise, of course, is possibly going on an extended leave. We're not sure. The idea to the other 2 then was to give us assistance in covering her workload. The reason we'd like to hire multiple people, though, is as we interviewed, they all indicated that they would like more in terms of hours, full-time, that type of thing. And so my fear is they may not stay long if they're searching for other jobs. And I don't want to be in a position where we're constantly retraining the new person every 2 months. So I'd rather hire multiple, train them all at the same time. That way, if one of them leaves, we still have backup while we find someone for that. We have the ability to expand hours if one of them would leave and then contract them back down if we would bring someone else in, all in lieu of waiting to hear. And by waiting, it's probably going to be 3 to 4 months at least, what's going on with our other employee and whether or not we need to begin coming up with other solutions. So the nice thing about this posting having been the temporary part-time is if things work out and everything's fine come May or June, then these positions can be let go of. If it turns out that we do need more around that time, we could talk at that time then about what we really need to do in proceeding into the future. So right now we just have a lot of uncertainty, a lot of unknowns, and a lot of backed up work.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys are
appreciate
getting
all
calls.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we're behind in phone calls. I mean, we're just behind. Denise went out for, I think it was 3 or 4 weeks in December. She came back. Now she's been out for 3 weeks already now. That was on top of us recovering from when she was out 5 months last year. I mean, Joan and I are a little bit frazzled. We've never been able to get back to normal here, and it's just becoming overwhelming. We need the help this time.
You know,
Sounds like a
Todd,
logical
though,
process.
if all these people are wanting more hours, why wouldn't we hire one person for 30 hours? That way they may not be looking, or do they want to be full-time?
So again, part of it is I worry that they're going to leave. They want full-time. And right now with Denise possibly coming back, we don't want to hire a full-time worker.
No.
You know, so the other issue, we could have given one of them 30 hours. That would have still fallen, you know, into the thing.
Right.
The problem is if that person would leave, then we're back to square one. My idea behind hiring the 3 is they're each going to have fewer hours, but it also gives us flexibility. You know, you interview as well as you can, but reality, the proof is in the pudding. This gives us a chance to actually see who the good worker is, and that person we can expand their hours and decrease the others. Depending on their abilities. If they all 3 turn out to be wonderful employees, that'd be the best news we could have, and we'll deal with that when it time comes. But the idea behind it is it gives us flexibility in seeing how well they work. It gives us flexibility in waiting to hear what's going on. It just gives us more flexibility overall.
So Todd, what is the total hours? Did you tell us it was 42 for all 3?
Yeah, so right now we would have one lady come in from 8 to noon. Another lady come in Monday, Wednesday, Friday from noon to 4. And then one lady come in on the Tuesday, Thursday gap, and she would do like 10 to 4. So it ends up being a little over 40 hours total. But again, it's trying to cover a position that we've lost that was experienced. So that's the reason for the upping of the hours. Originally, we were only talking 15 to 20 hours just to help us with the overload.
My concern is, and I understand exactly what you're saying, Todd, but if they all wanted full-time, I would think, now the one that we're hiring, the new position, did she want full-time also?
All of them expressed the fact that if we had more, they would like it. They all asked in the interview whether this could lead to something more within the county. So, I mean, they all indicated that while they're happy to get a job, you know, they possibly need more. Again, I can't offer anything more permanently because we have an employee in that spot. And until that answer is cleared up, which may be months, I can't really do anything. Now, if it would come to pass that we do need someone, again, the nice part is we've got 3 excellent candidates that we've worked with, and we know exactly who the best one is that either we could offer or
a full-time.
We decide we need to post that you know, we need to look again.
Right.
But we'll cross that bridge as we get to it. Right now, we need help with work, but we have to hold a spot for the employee who's out. And the best way to do that is with the temporary.
Okay.
And since we can't go full time, I'm not sure any of them will be happy.
Right.
Whether it's 20 or 30, I don't know that would be the deal breaker.
Right.
I don't know.
But your end goal here is maybe if this person doesn't come back from leave, we might have one full-time and then maybe one part-time.
That's
Because
very
this-
possible, yeah, depending on the work levels and
Right.
the talents of these people, so to speak. Yes.
Okay, okay.
Tony, did you have any questions? Are you okay?
I think Todd's using perfect logic with the employees, and I would do the same thing.
Okay. Okay,
Okay, thank you, Todd.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Todd.
Okay. Move that the Board of Commissioners agree to authorize the Department of Budget and Financial Management to use the current applicant pool from the November 24, 2020 job posting to fill 2 additional utility billing service representatives, part-time temporary positions.
I second that.
hey, roll call, Julie?
Vicky,
Yes,
Tony,
Yes.
Sabrina,
Yes. Okay, we have an executive session. Are we ready for that, Janet?
Yes, we are.
Okay. I want to make a motion.
I can move.
accordance with
motion
the-
and-
oh, go ahead, Tony.
Good.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'll listen to you.
In accordance with the Ohio Revised Code 121.22 G1, appointment motion to enter into executive session to consider appointment of a public employee.
Second that.
Okay, roll call, Julie?
Vicky,
Yes,
Tony,
Yes.
Sabrina,
Yes.